So I couldn't be more wrong about my opinion of them rushing the story in this first season. In fact, they did quite the opposite in taking their sweet time with this season. And I have watched this season twice and I've really had time to digest this season as a whole, especially since it did come out in the holidays. And for me, season one felt like an origin to where this story will go, like no shit. But I think however long as the show goes, season one has done a really good job to hold up that foundation for future seasons. Like, I'll put my hands up and say rewatching season one was not the easiest thing for me. And I'm also saying this as someone that has watched Vox Machina like every year. But I just don't feel like this season has what Vox had in that early seasons, comparing them. But on the flip side, I just have that feeling that the future stories here will pay off way better than Vox Machina did. Because the problem I always had with Vox is that they sped up a lot of plot points really quickly or held on for some things and just rushed it. I don't know, everything just felt poorly planned out for Vox Machina, especially in the latter seasons. But here, it feels like the show has learned from that and it's going to start in season 2, which doesn't really do season 1 favors, but give me something to look forward to in the future and I'm satisfied, because now there are so many stories I'm looking forward to see. Obviously the main one, which is the whole thing happening with the Dunamatsi and the whole war between the Crane and the other guys. And I love like Ikenton's involvement, for example, who to me is a really good antagonist in my opinion. And I just felt like we haven't gotten a whole lot with him, but he looks promising. And how this whole team just happens to be involved with it, even though like the two people that are directly involved with it are Caleb and Bo. You know, everybody just joins in and I think it's all fun. One of my favorite episodes was episode 4 because we get to see the actual team start to be that team. And I do think the first 3 episodes of Build Up does a really good job to show us where these characters are and how they cross paths and the vagueness with their backstories. We really only got Bren's backstory in this entire season, if we're being honest. But yeah, Bren being the main focus in the season was good. I love him and I just hope they don't give him the Percy treatment in like Vox Machina. But it seems like there is a better balance with how the screen time is being shared for each character. But please just don't nerf Percy in the future seasons. His past seems really sad and I can't wait to see where they take his character to, where they grow, like how much more powerful he becomes, because always points to that, if I'm being honest. I think he's going to be not one of the most powerful, but like up there. Also him and his relationship with Not, which I feel was pretty one-sided on Not's side. But for Not, I said in my early thought video that I think Not might suffer the same fate as like a Grog or a Scanlan from Vox Machina, but there is still this layer of unknown with him. And I feel like I'm curious to low-key see that. What happened with his alchemist that he was an assistant to? Why does he drink so much? And what's his obsession with buttons? And is Not a he or a she? Because like he always refers to himself as like a girl when he's like pretending and acting. So I'm like, there's a lot of like layers to Not I'm intrigued to see, but he's probably my least favorite character, if I'm being honest. Both two, on the other hand, one of my favorites. As I said, I think the first 3 episodes did a really good job at establishing her, but slowly declines after that in the favor for the other characters. I mean, it's fine, but it just made me care about her less. But I think her character is also really, really exciting to see, and I can't wait to see what she does, especially like with her whole Cobalt Soul, like how she joined them and what's her deal with her like rich family and everything. I feel like that's something I'm eager to see. Then we have Jester and Ford, which I swear in that episode 2 when we get introduced to Ford, I thought I would love him, but low-key like towards the end of the season he was pissing me off, and I think he comes off as a really annoying character. I hope they do work with him. I feel like he will still have that aspect to him, and I don't know, I think there might be a side that might make you like, I feel like he's going to be like a Vax. I don't think he will have the role as a Vax, but I feel like he'll have more of like the personality. I don't know how to explain it, but yeah, because there are definitely cool aspects in his character. I like really love his power set, and I have a suspicion that he might end up being set up as the leader of the group, like I said, like a Vax. And over the seasons, he will 100% have, I think, the best growth. I don't know, like I feel like we started the season from the beginning of his journey, if you understand what I'm trying to say. So I think he will have probably the best growth. Whereas Jester, I don't think you can hate. I don't think anybody can hate Jester. She's just so fun and she's really cool. I don't think there's any character in Vox Machina that can directly compare to her. But I like the breath of fresh air that she brings, and also her Traveler too. I think it's cool that we got to see the Traveler this season. And Molly, he had a lot of time on his own, but I still felt like at times he was a passenger in this season. Don't get me wrong, I love him. As the team currently stands here, I think he's probably the closest thing that they have to like that leader, and it's just what he does within the group that I love. He gets along with everybody, and like he gets along with everybody in the show, even outside of the group really well. And he's also just that glue in the team that connects them all together. And his personality, his appearance in episode 3, but there's also this part of him that like we're not aware of, like hinting to it, which I can't wait to see. But overall, together as a team compared to Vox Machina, I think there is a more coherent balance with them. And even outside of Not, in my opinion, they were all established pretty well. And even with Not, I think there's something with him that can be explored and hopefully done well. And I think the whole Mighty Nine episode 7 is a good indicator of how this team will shape up. I think that is one of the best episodes in this season because that's the episode that like establishes them as a group. I'm also a fan of how compared to Vox Machina, that Vox had a clear leader. I've already mentioned this a bit, but like here, it seems to be less of an indicator that they have one of that, because you see it's being passed around, that like responsibility, even though, as I said, Molly just seems to be that guy for now. But I like the fact that they don't really have one. I feel like that's cool. Something I also don't really understand is the way magic is in this world, because different medias always have their own different interpretation of magic and who can use magic, how you can use magic. But I remember at the start, we see Not amazed with Bren having magic. But Loki, now as I think about it, maybe it had something to do in Not's past. Maybe he grew up with magic or something. But still, like, it just gave me this sense that magic was somewhat rare, because you see Not like surprised that Bren can do magic and everything. And also because of the way Bren does his magic, that he studied it and everything. I thought it was something that he had to learn. But then you see Ford, a character that doesn't really have a magical background or everything, just gets the sword and all of a sudden he can do magic. I understand, like, yes, the sword is the magic, but even Jester just happens to know magic sometimes and happens to not know magic sometimes. It's a bit weird. I don't know. And even back on Bren, I don't really get it, because they said that at the start of it, they said that he lost his magic, that Icarus took his magic away. But we still see him getting more powerful and powerful as these episodes go back. I just feel like the thing is just being convenience to what he can and he cannot do. I just wish they somewhat address it. Because even Bo is not really affiliated with magic at all. But early on in the season, we see her like, I feel like they'll address this in the future. I hope they address it in the future. Because early on in the season, we see like she can like see what happened or something. I don't know. See, that's the Mighty Nine for me so far. I like the progression it's on, and I wish to see more as soon as possible. Because I'm sort of annoyed that we ended off with the orphan maker Yasha. Like, how do you end the season there? That's just rude. And now we have to wait like possibly a year, maybe this November, till we see season 2. But yeah, the Mighty Nine, I liked it, and I hope you did too. And I hope we get as many seasons as we possibly can, because this is low-key a show I'm excited to see, and I just hope that they don't rush it. They explore different stories each year and they actually try and finish the story. I hope they just don't make the same mistakes that they made with Vox Machina and make the good choices that they made with Vox Machina, because I'm excited for this. Thank you for watching this video, and hopefully I'll see you in the next one. Bye.